Please remember this advice. Don't be foolish to tease a woman with a hunch,
because she's not like any. Don't think she's gentle, soft-hearted that can be easily bullied. She sees through every trick in the world. Her wisdom, it's because of the suffering in life. If someone else couldn't have done what she did, but she didn't just overcome adversity, but also maintain honesty. Such a person is rare in the world. If people don't help her, the blue sky will also take care of itself. So what is a woman with a hunch? It's the one who doesn't fight, no more than losing or running according to material. She's been very kind since she was a child. There's a mission in her life. People who have integrity of mind when approaching will be lucky. And those who have evil minds, if you deliberately harm her, will be responded to by her powerful energy. The opposite, it's hard to recognize her in the crowd, because she has a modest personality, deep inwardly unobtrusive. But if there's a chance of contact, you'll feel her special temperament. There's a saying that money and love are the enemies of the spirit. A woman with high instincts usually have a strong immunity before material and emotional, because what she's after isn't ephemeral. It's the freedom of the soul. The higher the hunch, it is even harder to get rich in life. Or perfect love, things that people usually value. In her eyes, it's just dust. But she's always honest with people. He looks like a normal person, even less prominent in the world. But her whole temperament, it brings a sense of peace. Relax, she's not fighting no Bonchin. Live according to nature. That's the energy. Help those around her feel comfortable. A woman with high instincts, the softer she lives, the happier you live. When we're complaining about the injustice of life, she knew how to look inside to examine herself. When we're still struggling, because of the difficulties of life, she's entered a state of to find the truth. If you're lucky to meet someone like that, please respect. For being with her, you will feel comfortable and simple to pure. There are no false loops. There are no jokes. There are no attempts at fame. Women who have high instincts never blame the environment, but always find the cause from yourself. They live simply.
Don't pay too much attention to etiquette.
But they are the most sincere.
On the outside, they look normal.
Even so trivial that no one noticed. But actually, they're just immersed in a deep inner world. They're not very good at talking, but they're always honest. For keeping the mind, they are humble about everything in life. They can be tough when needed,
Can also be soft when appropriate. The more psychic, the purer the person, the more ordinary. The more you live with peace of mind, people with high instincts, they don't have big ambitions for money. It is not easy to fall in love. They don't like to get involved in complicated relationships. That's why a woman has a higher sense. The softer the life, the more fun, the more you know enough to be happy. Back to purity. That's when their souls wake up. When a person is truly enlightened, it is when they are reborn from the fire. From here, no AI can move their insides anymore. Women who don't depend on men, it's usually people with a hunch. They're not greedy for money, no material ham. I never thought about relying on men to rise to a higher position. They have their own foundation of have superior dignity and a correct worldview. I like to do meaningful things in my own way. Don't waste time on useless things. For nature lovers believe that everything has a soul. They find peace and tranquility in the mountains and forests. The river is not bound by emotions. Once you no longer feel the joy of being with that they will leave immediately without regret. Not infatuated with material things. I can see the essence of everything, without being tempted by desire or frivolous things. They have a full and rich inner spirit. I love those philosophical and in-depth studies such as theosophy, philosophy of psychology, and traditional culture. 8. Do not argue with others. Even if the enemy says 1-1, they don't argue either, because they understand that everyone lives in their own world of light. 9. Extremely sensitive intuitions. Stay away from people and places. It's an uncomfortable feeling, and always believe in my hunch. When faced with important choices, 10 have independent living space and spiritual world. They're not trying to please AI or cling to any AI. Once enlightened, they won't innocently seek recognition, or depending on someone else. Normal women live in emotion. Women at higher levels live in reason and reflection. But women reach the top. Those who live in the awakening of the soul. The woman woke up, understand that life is just a journey of experience. They have a mission to have a worldview. Life and values are completely different. Their insides are incredibly solid and strong. They can create tremendous value for society, my family, and myself. Men can start a war, but women can bring peace to the world. That's the real power of women in this day and age. In the age of 9, we'll feel it more and more clearly. The awakening of female power, cause and effect exists everywhere, which carries in itself an innate instinct. Absolutely don't mess with them. Who deliberately provoke anger. They will often suffer heavy karma. Even heaven and earth are protecting them. They are people who have a deep gospel. The first, who are persistent in their tenderness. Good is good and evil is evil. It's not unannounced. It's not time. There is a God on the head. We need to keep in mind our fear of the world. And practice your own virtue. The law of things in heaven and earth. The earth is between heaven and earth. Heaven, only a unified earth can achieve the highest harmony. So people have to go out and explore the world. Get in touch with nature. Get in touch with life. It can absorb energy from the sky. Remember, don't let yourself lose your sense of identity. Especially women. If they lose their instincts, they'll actually leave and become less sharp. The most important thing is you have to learn how to treat yourself well. No matter what, it will eventually become a thing of the past. When a woman has a strong inner self, no longer busy with old things, full of hope for the future, she'll get her spirit back. Many women when young, very active 8, have many friends, many stories to share. But after marriage and childbirth, they become quiet and quiet. Apart from her husband and children, there was nothing else to talk about. But in fact, they're smart and interesting. Just now, even their smiles become wry. Losing yourself, completely become a different person. They spend all their time and energy on their family. Children who gradually forget themselves. But every woman needs to understand one thing. First you are yourself, then you are the wife and mother of the AI. A woman with a dark interior. There is no joy in living. It can't bring happiness to anyone.